Good evening, everyone. It is Graham Symington here with the league for tonight. Just a little bit, what's the word? Excited to be here. I think you can tell from my voice that I'm extremely happy to be on the show. Good evening to anyone who is here today. It should be exciting. We can have a look through the matches for tonight. We have Atletico Allenwell, they're taking part in the matches, and they're playing Bergsund, Ewan Rovers versus Further, and Falareki versus Darla. We have the Wanderers of Wolverhampton going away to Falska Sprint, and Fortuna Deflection play Klausenengen. Hull's Vikings and East Coast Warriors. That should be an exciting game. And of course, Imaginary Madrid, imagining their victory the other day they had, they'll play the Bootstown Badgers. It's going to be a good one. We see the Wacky Racers up against the Flamingos, and Skade will play CCCP. And the other match between two teams in the division sees Trafford versus Phoenix. Good evening, Mr. Shaw. It's good to see you here today. Let's get started. We start off with a cracking game. It's going to be absolutely thrilling. And for this game, I'm going to hand you over to Champ Megahorse to do some commentary. Good evening, Mr. Megahorse.
Good evening, Graham. It's great to be here today. It's nice to see you presenting and leaving me to do the job of the punditry and commentary. Fantastic. You okay yourself?
Yes, I'm absolutely thrilled.
Yes, brilliant. You can see that the Phoenix side are absolutely unchanged from last time in the league where they beat Wanderers of Wolverhampton 2-1. They are up against Trafford today in this massive cup game. As you say, unchanged. And Trafford United, after their 1-0 win over Badgers last game, a real close one, I think it was. It could be said. Their team changes somewhat. Sees Russell Nigmatulin in goal. A few changes in terms of strength force. I believe there might have been a change up there as well. Can't see. Steve's here as well. Thank you very much, Steve, for coming along.
Yes, it's good to see that he's here, isn't it?
I thought you were leaving me to it, Graham.
No, I'm going to pop up a little bits every now and then because I know people like to hear me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Tom Madeira on his good scoring form won't be playing in today's game. So we see Pablo Aimar in the middle of midfield with Rivaldo and Totti extremely attacking. So in our first match of the day, let's go straight into the action. And we can see that Runa Nordby is refereeing live from Gold Trafford. And we shall get cracking. And the game kicks off immediately with Phoenix on the attack, heading forward, and then the Trafford go down the other end and have a good chance to score. It's looking like this could go either way. We're halfway through the half already. And immediately we get yellow cards for teams. Will there be a goal before half time? Who knows? Oh, there's been a chance to have Henrik Larsson. And Larsson again, but nothing's coming of it at this point. And it's half time. And as we know, Trafford like to have substitutes planned at half time. It works well for them. They're looking for Vieira hasn't been booked. And I'll just take a look and see if anyone else is injured, potentially injured. It does not look like it. For Phoenix, they will be doing the whole less is more system. I mean, looking at that first half there, Phoenix definitely having the better of it. If Totti's on more than a 6, it's whip wob. Well, let me see what he's on there again. He's on a 7. Yeah, some kind of, I don't know, what should we say, risky business? No, not at all. Just Totti having a bit of a freak match. Action areas see plenty more possession for Trafford. I thought I could see more gold on the screen, but no goals. And so I go to 60 minutes and see what is happening here. So we slow it down, of course, because the game can just jump at times. These first 15 minutes are a little bit tedious at the moment. There we go. Rui Costa has broken the tedium and scored the opening goal.
Oh, I can scarcely contain my delight in that one. It's such a great finish there. Fantastic.
Yeah, it really was a great one, wasn't it? Nick Matulin is making amends with taking the ball a bit safely there. And Trafford, they have said that anyone under 6 will be coming off at this point. In fact, a rating of 6 and they will come off. Well, and under 85%, well, Zanetti is withdrawn straight away. But who would go and play right back? That will be, it would be Okoronkwo, won't it, to go and play right back, seeing as he's the only person who has the capability of doing so. And Jai will come on to replace Zanetti. Fitness, I think, is an important one. Under 85, nope, there's nobody under 85, so it'll be rating substitutes. Let's look at Sigalko as a booking, so that will be Nistelrooy brought on. Aymar versus Rivaldo. We'll look at who's the least fit of the two. Aymar at 88 and Rivaldo at 88. I mean, are they doing anything different to each other?
I don't really know. I think that if I were to take somebody off at this point, I just need to see a little bit more.
Yeah, fully agree. Actually, we just take a look at Rivaldo. Aymar contributions. Rivaldo's not putting any tackles in. But Aymar is doing less passing and less attacking. I think it'll be Aymar to be withdrawn. That will be Emerson coming on in his place. Let's just get that sorted straight away. So Aymar off and Emerson on. Treble sub for them. And for Phoenix, just taking a look at the Phoenix side. Well, we do get less is more. I mean, I am going to take Batistuta off because Batistuta is absolutely worn out. So with his foot injury, and he started the game 85%, I believe he should be withdrawn at this point. And Alan Shearer is there on the bench. Phoenix are winning though, so we'll stick to the whole less is more situation with them. And let's kick off at a faster speed. Graham, can you take over?
Yes, it's certainly more Trafford again. They're going forward, but Phoenix are pretty strong in the defence, aren't they? Reza Azu's been having a bit of involvement. It looks like Zidane's come forward and a chance there with the. I think it's still going to be very much Phoenix at this rate, but Trafford trying to come back into the game.
Yeah, Nick Matulin's been probably the more involved, hasn't he, in goal at this point. But Van Nistelrooy has scored the equaliser, and this game could be going into extra time. Will it be going to extra time? Or Cannavaro is off, and we are now down to just 10 men because they made all their substitutes with their substitute rules. Well, I think the only thing to do really here is to move the players back a little bit. I mean, no, I think at this point, you're going for the game. No defensive, play defensive midfield and play two in those attacking central mid positions, and Vieira taken into centre back. There are no other moves that can really be done for these at this point.
Yes, it's a bit of a loss there, isn't it, to lose Cannavaro? But we shall see if it's worth it for anything here.
And this game is going into extra time. Phoenix will take a look at their substitutes, and they notice that Zidane is on 69%. I think Zidane may be carrying some form of injury. Yes, he has done his groin in, and they are pretty tired. The Phoenix side before the game, never mind any other point. So Zidane will come off, and that will be a job for Rivaldo.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing whether Rivaldo can make an impact for both teams in extra time.
Quick look and seeing Phoenix still probably the more deserving of victory, but Trafford obviously holding out. Nick Matulin having a good game. We'll take a look at the goals. There is No match report, interestingly enough. No match report in the Norwegian Cup. That is a rather interesting thing. I don't think I've ever seen that sort of situation before. Taking a look, and we see that Okoronkwo was heavily involved. Cannavaro was having a great game before being taken off. And for Phoenix, Paulo Montero doing most of the defensive work. But again, this is a match much more suited to defenders. Desai enjoying his game in midfield. Substitutes will be left at this point now as we go into extra time. And we went straight through extra time. Straight through the first half of extra time in a click. And the second half of extra time, there's a chance there. Shearer's had a chance. It looks like there's been much more going towards Phoenix, but it will be a penalty shootout. And it will be players as they are selected, their automatic penalty shootout selection for both teams. And the penalties will be played on fast just to see what happens. Van Nistelrooy, it's not that fast, is it? Van Nistelrooy scores the opening penalty, and Alan Shearer gets the goal to pull it back to 1-1. We're going to look in. Rivaldo makes it 2-1. Better to watch the penalties from this position, isn't it? Henrik Larsson, it is 2-2. Shevchenko runs up and makes it 3-2. Rivaldo, he scores. Nigma goes up and scores his penalty. Lizarazu, it's also gone in. Players are pretty worn out. Totti, it's a goal for Totti. 5-4. And Rui Costa must score. And he does. Well, we're going to sudden death. Emerson, he scores as well. 6-5. Thuram also scores. Roberto Carlos has scored. It'll be interesting to see if anything does happen here. Pico Simeone makes it 7-all on the penalties. But it's been saved. It's been saved. And Camara also has missed his penalty. Patrick Vieira, the 9th penalty for Phoenix, goes in. And Desai has had his saved. And Trafford go through after a thrilling penalty shootout. Plenty of goals. But Phoenix with a much more attacking side in that match. And we've had our first ever penalty shootout in the Swemp Electronics Football Alliance. And it sees Phoenix out to the Trafford side, who have won. Enigma Tullin has scored a penalty in the game, as well as being involved as the goalkeeper. Rui Costa, man of the match, but to no avail, as Trafford have progressed through to the next round.
Yes, great to see penalty shootout. In fact, actually, I don't like penalty shootouts at all. I just thought it was great, but to be honest, no, it really wasn't.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a bit of a lottery, isn't it? And unfortunate that one team had to go through a penalty shootout, being knocked out there. So, imagine Real Madrid, who last match picked up their first ever victory in the league. We see an easy win for Trafford. Daci's happy with his victory. Great to see you on the stream tonight. Fantastic. Your side didn't particularly attack very much, but they did absolutely everything they need to do. And Nigma Tullin, superb in that penalty shootout. Imagine Real Madrid. We look at their team for today. They've made one change to their lineup, and it sees the recalled Gaisca Mendieta. He's in the team today. For the first time in a few games with injury, Gary Kelly drops straight out, who is actually unfit for the match. Other than that, no changes. And they are up against Tato Mourinho's Badgers, who we've seen that they just had a 1-0 defeat to Trafford last game. A good performance when Tato was expecting anywhere up to probably 9-0 against him. But we can see that today the Badgers have gone for a very attacking line. Definitely.
Yes, I do believe that. Mr. Mourinho is here. It's good to see you today, Tato. I do believe you're probably the league's second best commentator after Mr. Symington.
That's you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, I do think I have the voice of an angel and ready to perform.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. You can see that Clausen was set to. Yeah,
So, hi, Taser.
yeah, Clausen was set to play in defensive midfield, but I think a bit of a change of heart there and moving him back into a back three. We had a late call up of Alex Manning into the side as a substitute goalkeeper. It was a bit doubtful as to whether there was going to be one, but I think a change of heart. Thinking about when David Priest would come off at this point. Very attacking side. It's nice to see Collins and Somerville there, and also David Cameron being given a chance up front today. Cameron's scoring record so far is second to none. No, he's actually none in the league, and one goal in the cup, where he's performed very, very well, to be honest.
Yes, I do like to see him. He's someone who, if he's going to get involved in things that he probably shouldn't do, is what I've heard about him in the news at the moment. Something interesting there.
Yeah, probably not the same David Cameron. Steve Finnan playing out on the right-hand side of midfield today. I think he could be a real threat up against Imaginary Madrid. Going to this game, will we get extra time and penalty in this one? Who knows? We're going to get this one started. And Imaginary Madrid came forward straight away, but then Jamie Somerville with a close chance to score. And Cudicini's been heavily involved with a save already. And Badgers are definitely a little bit under pressure at the moment. I think that Madrid have had a chance there, and then coming forward, the Badgers again. Sahar's been booked for the Imaginary Madrid. It is half time. Rob worries about this horse. Which horse? Me, the mega horse, and the fact that I'm talking with such a legend as Graham Symington. Stay right is happy with Steve Finnan's performance so far. Imaginary Madrid looked like they were taking the game towards the Badgers at some point, but to be honest, no shots on target. Doesn't quite sum up what I was, I suppose, imagining at that point. I think the Badgers have been much more the attacking side and actually had more of the ball, so I've been watching an imaginary game. Clausen off for Warner at this point. It was a planned substitute, and of course, being on the chat, you can do whatever you like at this point within the laws of the game. So Clausen off. I'm clicking with the right side of the mouse pad. Clausen off and advanced warning onto the pitch. And Imaginary Madrid make no plans for substitutes at the moment. Yordi's the least fit player. And they've not really put in too many tackles at this point. In fact, a lot of people are putting in 2 tackles. Yes, confirming the planned substitute. Yes, that's all good news. But like I say, for those people who, if you are on chat and you do want to make a substitute, it is absolutely fine at this point because you are the manager, not me. I think that Mike Duff is having a great performance for Badgers at the moment. His passing is looking good. He's winning plenty of headers. He's just doing everything he needs to do, and he does look like the standout player on the pitch here. Alan will have not played yet. We've only had the one match. It's not running in the order that it says on the screen. That's just purely the alphabetical one there. The only game we've had so far was a 1-1 draw between Trafford and Phoenix that was won on penalties. About 8-7, I think it was on penalties to Trafford. Okay, we shall get to 60 minutes. And there's the Warner substitute has happened. Kesman is coming forward and he's been tripped over by Warner, who doesn't get booked for potato after just 2 minutes after bringing his player on. And then Somerville has had a chance. It's a good save from Carlo Cudicini. Badgers certainly been the team to put more pressure on at the start of this half here. Coming forward again, Finnan, and the cross comes in. It's a great cross and a finish from David Cameron. Brilliant for the Badgers. 1-0. Free Frederick Risp, who's now down in the reserves at the Badgers. We've got a chance here for Madrid, and Kesman Williams has been taken him down, and it's a free kick. And the ball played in. Frank Lampard put one horribly wide, as it was said there. Imagine Madrid have of course, they're planning to make no changes, and so we will see what we have here. Obviously, Tato, you are here for your substitutes, but I do have what your recommendations were here as well. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you are here, so you can make your changes. Have a look at the conditions just in case anything you want to do there. Cameron lobbied for the start. Yes, I'm pretty sure he did at this point. Then Graham, what do you think about this game so far?
I do think it's gone with much more the attacking side winning the match. Williams is coming on for Huckabee, off for Huckabee, sorry. He has been booked. He's going to disappear. I think that that might be the only change that they're making. I've been very impressed with Steve Finnan. Less impressed than Steve Wright has been with Finnan.
And Somerville for Yavin. So Yavin will come on and complete the set here. Somerville and Yavin. There we go. We will look into the end of this game. Speed can go up. And taking a quick look, Carlo Cudicini has been heavily tested. Steve Finnan now is running the game, as we've kind of seen on screen, haven't we? Walker with a chance there. And Yavin has made it 2-0, and the substitute has worked an absolute treat for the Badgers. But then we've got a yellow card for, I thought it was yellow, I guess it was a yellow card for Collins. And Badgers deserved winners moving into round 4 with Steve Finnan man of the match and Mike Duff performing very, very well. But look at Yavin off the bench there. In fact, imagine Madrid got better in defence as the game went along, despite the fact that they ended up losing by 2 goals.
Yes, I was very impressed by the Badgers' attack over the course of the second half, mainly. Imagine Madrid were not a terrible team at all. I think that their league position is a little bit false, maybe, but I'm happy for the Badgers side that they've gone through. There is a match report in this game.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why there was no match report last game to have a look through when it came to it. We can see here that David Cameron from the Finnan cross, that was a superb piece of work from Finnan and finished off. And then David Collins has put in the assist for Yavin in the game there. Imagine Regilia Colaccini playing very, very well. And we can see cutbacks. Cutbacks is just the one word, but it's an absolute dream there from Rob, who he was a good commentator on the show, wasn't he, when he was on before? Fantastic to see some great ones here. Mr. Wolf is here. We could have asked what time is it, Mr. Wolf. It is not Wanderers of Wolverhampton time just yet. Yavin, great substitute performance that he had there. Wellens getting in some plenty of tackles in his game. I've been impressed with Wellens, to be honest, over the games he's played so far. And Steve Finnan deserved man of the match with an assist and winning all of his tackles as well. So fantastic. We go into the first match involving a team outside of the division as well. Cheers, Swempster and Graham. Yes, Mr. Tato, thank you very much for your contributions to your own team's victory in that match too. Iron Curtain United, who will be making substitutes only really if necessary for this game, they head into it with a reserve side, but still a strong side.
Yes, I'm a fan of Lysan's. I think he offers that versatility, and he's not played very much this season, but it'd be nice to see what he can do. It's also good to see Vasiliev given a chance up front, especially as early in the season he was forgotten as a substitute at one point.
Yeah, probably best not to remind me there, of course. Where you can go into the match. Iron Curtain United last game, of course, they had a 2-2 draw with Fortuna, who you could say Fortuna were a bit lucky They have got David Day in goal. David Day, superb season he's had so far. CCCP in their away kit today. Steinar Holvik refereeing. We'll watch the game from the viewpoint of the Iron Curtain. Kicking off the match, and it's very much Skate on the attack. But then coming forward, CCCP with a chance, and Titov put one wide. It's a red card for Yanovsky, and they are down to 10. Timoschuk will go and fill in the. In fact, he'll go and fill in at centre back. It would make more sense than just to leave Lysans. He was picked as a defensive midfielder, so he'll be picked now as the centre back for the rest of this match. Very unfortunate for them that this has happened.
Yeah, unfortunate. We'll have a look at the match report and see if it was silly behaviour from Yanovsky. You can't do that in these games.
They've missed the free kick, I believe it was, that they've put the free kick over the bar. And the Iron Curtain are under some pressure from the team in the division below, Skade, who just keep coming forward and keep attacking. This is going to be a close match. But there, Bez Rodney has scored and made it 1-0 and eased some of the pressure. And will it kill off the threat? Who knows? A little bit Skade.
Yes, I like that one. It's quite funny, isn't it? I'm almost breaking into a laugh. Yes, it's good, isn't it?
Let's take a look at the stats. I mean, Graham, sometimes we can see that the Iron Curtain are edging it now after a period of 60% possession. 60% for Skade. The question is Daniel Bratton playing for Skade. We shall have a little look at this. The red card that happened was just knocked to the foot. Yeah, I see. It must have been through on goal or something, because otherwise it seems a little bit harsh. And then the goal that Stoltzers has played Bez Rodney, and Stoltzers there has got himself an assist. And looking into this team here, Daniel Brasson is a substitute today. He's there.
Yes, I think I brought him up for some attention earlier on in the draw a few days ago. I was looking forward to seeing him playing, and also Eric Noppy. Noppy is not performing, is he? No performance.
There won't be any substitutes for Iron Curtain planned, so let's see if we can just head into the rest of the game. And they're coming forward immediately and looking like they are going to be a little bit stronger than they were in the first half, despite the fact they've only got 10 men. Titov is shooting because he's not working. Stoltz says he's only a 10 so far. I mean, that is absolutely solid. I'm not quite sure. He must be doing lots of dribbles, because how is he on a 10? Titov has scored his first goal, and Barassa is coming off with an injury. And we shall see a change being made. The people who've made the least appearances this season, I mean, Drozdov has made the least appearances for an outfield player. So he will come on for Barassa. And with his centre-back position in there, and Timoschuk can play on the right-hand side. It makes sense to just move Drozdov in and Timoschuk out there. Good. Danny Bratton, he's a good player on 0304, isn't he? He wasn't too bad on some editions of Pro Evo. Drozdov was great in the WWE. Speaking of that, we've got WWFC coming up, of course, in today's show. Heading towards the rest of the game, it's comfortable at 2-0 now. It looks like the Iron Curtain have closed the game down. And, yeah, it's all about that one curtain there in the background. It's a great result for them. Stoltzers looks very, very tired at the end of the game. How many dribbles has he done to get that? 1. So what is it that stands him out as the perfect player? 5 key passes, 4 tackles, 1. I suppose he's just done most of what he's done very, very well. And a great result. They ended up with 8 shots on target. I say a great result, to be honest, a great result considering the start that they had in the game and the loss of a man. They did close possession in, and the second goal was scored from Titov, and it happened with Krapkowski playing it towards Vasiliuk, but it didn't reach Vasiliuk, and it ended up going in from Titov. And at the same time, we had 2 injuries. Okay, Hulls versus East Coast. Straight into the next game, and another big, big match.
Yes, I believe that these two teams could easily be in the game today. I think they'd be good contenders for the league title potentially at some point this season as well. I'm looking forward to this. Probably one of the most of today's games. I cannot be biased, but yes, it's going to be a thriller.
Hull's last game had an amazing 4-3 victory over Falaraki. It really kicked off the show in style. We will hit the Andrew Richards request of giving Fortesh that start. I wouldn't usually do things after the deadline for teams coming in, but I mean, he's 64 years old. He is going to start that match and play the 90 minutes. Hull's Vikings make some changes for today's game. It sees Hierro records the starting lineup. Paredes is a more defensive selection in the middle of midfield, and Ronaldo called back into the side. Rob saying that we do not need to look at the East Coast Warriors last game. No, we. Oh yes, we do. Yes, it was unfortunately for let's go Lunwell. It was unfortunate that they lost 3-1 to East Coast, but I mean East Coast are a team that really do stand themselves out as not only brave but very, very good. A change of formation today, only in the fact that there's no run from the centre back. That's the only real change that's happening. We can see Duncan Ferguson given another start. We know his cut record has been very strong. His cut record has been great, and it's good to see him in the team. Barijo up front with Ferguson. Barijo is starting to develop a little bit this season, I think. And we can see as well that the defence is probably about as strong as you can get. And then there's John Terry there as well. Nigma Tullin in goal still for today. This is going to be a cracker. Yes, big dunk indeed. Sten Sutra Pedersen refereeing today's game. I mean, my Norwegian pronunciation isn't great. Please improve it if you are a fluent Norwegian speaker, or indeed Norwegian, or just like aha. We go into the game, and let's see if we can get a winner in normal time between two classic sides in this division. It's very much sort of end-to-end without real big chances. Barijo's had a chance though now, and it seems like Duncan Ferguson with one as well. Nigma Tullin is tested as well. Hulls are coming forward. Elber Hierro with one, and it's still 0-0, but we are getting plenty of chances. Barijo looking like he's attacked Duncan Ferguson's put one wide, and there's a goal from 30 yards out for Ronaldo, and Elber has one disallowed just before half time. It is half time now, and that has been a powerful first half in terms of what it looks like on screen. Hull's three shots, 2 on target, and East Coast 6 shots, 4 on target.
Yes, I mean, Hulls are not half the team that the East Coast are. They're winning. They don't need the shots that the other team have had. Possession is quite even, although both numbers are odd. And we shall have a look at the goal. For the goal, it was Mourinho flicking it towards Ronaldo, and he just turns and smashes it. It was a superb effort from way out. It really did impress me. And Elber Figo was offside.
Figo offside. I mean, poor lad, offside there. Ronaldo, great performance in this first half. Substitutes just to be managed for Hulls, and at the moment they do not need to make any changes. For East Coast, they have a tired Duncan Ferguson, but that's always a situation there, isn't it? He's going to have his 60 minutes as usual. So, into the second half, and a nice slow paced 15 minutes ahead. Emerson Jr., Emerson Cafe, Figo, and is collected by Nigmatoin. It's very much a start for Hulls in this second half, isn't it? And Figo with a chance again. He's being dealt with by that defence, who doesn't look like they're performing very well, the East Coast side, except Barrijo, as Ronaldo makes it 2-0. And this is looking much more comfortable now for the Vikings, and the substitute is on its way at some point. But will it be 3-0 by that point? Ningwatoin's made a good save. And here we are, substitute time. So to manage anything for Hulls, is Figo injured? No, he's not. He's just started a bit lower. Is Ronaldo injured? Yes. So Ronaldo will be replaced. And he's going to be replaced by the usual. I'm just trying to think of who's played the most games this season. It'll be that one, won't it? Raul 10. Amoroso very much not 10. So Raul will come on and replace Ronaldo. Just the one change there for them. And for East Coast, they'll be making 2 changes. Duncan Ferguson withdrawn for Salva as the one planned sub. And then the other sub is the usual, sort of looking at people who are injured or not playing very well. I mean, David's on a 5 and he's booked. I think he'll be the one that B's replaced. I'm not even able to speak today. Zay Elias coming on for Davids as a second sub. Into the last half hour of the match, and 2-0. Can they do anything about it? Yes, they can. Lee Bowyer takes a yellow card. It's very much Hulls again coming forward. Luis Enrique is taking a yellow card. That's both the wide men. They're in some form of trouble. And we see the East Coast trying to come back into it, but then Figo has hit the frame of the goal. And Hulls have made it 3-0 with a goal for Raul right at the end of the match. Superb for them. I mean, both teams there, 25 free kicks there for Hulls, but based on 16 offside for the East Coast.
Yes, it was interesting to see that both teams have ended up with the same number of shots and same number of shots on target, but it's 3-0 at the end of the game.
And yeah, I mean, it wasn't a 3-0 match other than the fact that the shooting was just a lot better. Hulls, I mean, at the moment they will take some stock in the league. And East Coast, based on bravery, Hulls based on one-name players, 2 great concept squads that we have here. So Ronaldo, he got himself into some space after Junior's played him in. Fantastic for him. And that third goal late on, a free kick from Figo headed in by Raul. 3-0. Hulls, Ronaldo takes man of the match with his 2 goals. And Paredes has done a good job in terms of doing what he needed to do. Junior's made some key passes. He's made an assist. And we see for some reason the stream just dropped out for a second, but I think we are back in action. Taking a little look at what's happening here. And just checking that the connection is going okay, because at this point we don't want it to drop out, do we? I think we are just about back in and on the go. I will get on with it. See how we do. Game refereed by the Norwegian Mike Riley. It is all about him and his cards. I mean, if we look at the cards, East Coast have taken 3 cards there. And it really wasn't the typical defensive performance that we expect to see from this side at all. Thank you, Tato. It is all back up. and it seems to be running okay at the moment. I'm not sure what it is yet. Buffered for a second. I think it's probably the first time it has actually buffered during all the performances so far, live ones. So, but at least the sound works at the beginning today. What a strange performance for an East Coast defence that are usually very, very on it. I mean, Okoronkwo, 6 tackles, 1 out of 6, 3 key tackles, and he's ended with a 6 out of 10. Must just be the number of goals scored against them.
Yes, I thought he was a good player in this game. I was quite impressed. And Barijo up front, I think he's probably deserved another chance in next game to keep going.
Don't let it happen again, Michael Buffett. Oh, the chat works well for me. I enjoy being part of this. Next time, of course, during the weekend games, we will be having co-commentators that are a little more, let's say, fluid than Graham Symington is. And we will head into the next game, which involves the fourth game between, this is the fourth and final game between two sides from the top division. And Flamingos for today are unchanged in their bizarre 3-2-5 formation, which last match saw them beaten by Imaginary Madrid, and continue this 100% record of its 100% defeats. In the Cup, of course, they have had 1-0 win and a 1-0 win. So will it be third time, I can't say third time lucky because they have actually won both of them so far. But will they get through to round 4 with another 1-0 win? We see Wacky Racers with Jamie Hopkins picking a bit of a different side for today. He's gone for the standard successful formation for the league, although we know that other formations are also very successful. But it's a sort of return to something a bit different for Wacky Racers rather than the consistent letting Darren Barnard get very tired. So for this match, Llewellyn gets number 25, and with Oyvind de Lapness refereeing. I do think he's probably one of the better referees in this league. We shall see if this cup game will produce a goal fest, or whether Racers will live up to their league position and make it tricky for us to enjoy the match. We can see the Flamingos are out there on the attack quite a lot at this point, but Racers looking to get forward and have a chance, and Speed it was who almost scored the opening goal for the Racers. They are certainly coming back into this game a lot more. Davies has had a chance, and it's played through again. It's a corner this time. Gary Speed with almost with a chance there. Speed very much creating things in this game and having chances himself. Whereas it's a goal, it's Talon Martin who scores for the Flamingos and puts them 1-0 up. But then Simon Davies has equalised just a few minutes later. 1-1 at half time, and we have had a game that has come to life. There's been plenty of chances, 12 chances in that first half.
Yes, I do think that the Racers are a much, much better side than the Flamingos, and I'm surprised.
Graham, it sounds like your voice is drifting out at the moment. Are you okay?
Yes, I suppose so. I'm just so excited by one team absolutely destroying the other team, but getting nothing from it.
Well, Destroy is, of course, the Wacky Racers alter ego of the Dragon Destroyers in the Super League. So, great choice of words. Let's have a little look at the goals. And the first one, Matthew Christensen. I think there's only one in the team today. He had no space to shoot. That's the only reason why he passed it to Talon Martin, who gets his first goal. So great for Talon Martin to get into the action. And it's not a surprise that Gary Speed has played the cross into that. Graham's all about the draw.
Yes, I do like to be there for the draws of the cup, and this is a particularly thrilling one. I remember picking it out. Number 5, Wacky Racers.
It probably wasn't number 5, was it?
No, I didn't say any numbers. I could just pretend.
Simon Davies, plenty of chances he's had. Gary Speed, certainly much more the creator, and has also had 2 shots into this. He's having a good game, 100% passing for speed as well. And there will be the one change on the hour, other than any others seem appropriate. There has been none yet. For Flamingos, Shane Tolley is having a disaster of a game, and Matthew Christensen, with his assist, is actually performing pretty well. But they're not winning their tackles, and I think that will be key in the second half. If the Racers want to win this one, they just need to keep running. We're into the second half. Chris Coleman was involved, but now the ball's come back up the pitch at the other side. A free kick to the Flamingos. Christensen, Paul Jones has parried it. It's a corner, and Tolley's had a chance, and Paul Jones pushed it away. It seems like the Flamingos are really up for it in this match. But 60 minutes has happened, and it is Jones for Davies at this point, and it's the exact right substitute to make for them. Jones for Davies. Is there anyone else who we see as a useful change at the moment? Kumas isn't particularly performing very well, but I think that would be the only one that is going to be happening for the Racers at this point. The strikers are performing okay, and I don't think anyone else would add things to this. For the Flamingos, there won't be any substitutes this game because they have planned none. We're going to have a harmonised performance of X Gon Give It To You from DMX. I mean, we could give it to you, but at this rate, it would just be too good. We're trying not to take the action away from the show. But let's get on with the game, and the referee blows his whistle of do 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 do. So there he gets on with the match, and let's speed up the commentary. Probably going to be enough for copyright there, aren't they, with being so accurate with the tune. There's been another chance for Flamingos, and John Hartson has scored his 5th goal of the season. We have been critical of John Hartson this season, and I think with good reason, but he's actually turned out to have scored 5 goals. Gary Speed, a deserved man of the match. Prince Philip did do X and Give It To You. He did, I believe, also do that. It was a duet with, it wasn't DMX, it was who was it now?
It was Sir Bert Millichip by the man who used to do the draw with me in the cup many years ago.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic, wasn't it? Absolute thrilling thing there. And we see that the Racers did have more chances than the Flamingos, but the Flamingos are not a team to have suffered in this game. BMX, a great the bike solo that was in the middle of the rapping. I think let's have a look at that winning goal. It was a loose ball after Thomas had hit the post, and John Hartson smashed the ball in. Gary Speed, superb performance, and David Partridge again. I've seen him perform well a few times this season, but his form was terrible at that point. But he did get a 9 earlier this season. It must have been so long ago, but I know for a fact he did come up with a 9 earlier this season. 2 9s isn't great though, is it? But a 9 in the current game, you can only play as well as that. I mean, Thomas Christensen was absolutely worn out at the end of the game, and Matthew Christensen as well. But they gave it a bit of a go. And, I mean, Matthew Christensen even putting 3 tackles. Some progress for the Flamingos. Or will this be progress for the Racers, now playing in a new formation? Fortuna Deflection versus Klausenengen is the next match. And for this one, there's been a few changes, both tactically and in a personnel situation. You see David Day is being given a rest after his, what can only be described as amazing season so far, one of the top performers in Division 1. And we see that the formation, just some small changes there. Graham, do you want to talk us through the tactical sort of changes?
Yes, the fullbacks have been given some more license to go forward, but it is Tequari and Buele playing in the fullbacks, so I'm not sure it's necessarily as good as the previous side, Rovnico and the other guy.
Yeah, the other guy. Yes, I think you should probably refer to them by name.
I just can't remember who it is.
Okay.
And Dieter Isles is being given side arrow for this game, despite the fact he's 37 years old. He can go for it today, and Kenny Lunt is allowed to run forward a little bit more. They have a bit of a forward crisis of injuries.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. We've got Carlos Jacks, Emilio Estevez, and Talon Martin all injured for this game. So they are down to, not the bare bones in any way, but they're down to having to put some first teamers on the bench. Yavin up front and Dunwell given his chance in attacking midfield. I know that Quinton Fortuna doesn't mind Dunwell in that position at all. And it's something that is definitely to be looked at over the course of this match. Eric Rabasandratana playing in defence as well, and it's good to see him getting another start in the cup. Doris de Quiotis, yes, he is also in goal for today. Rob, you are right. Dieter Arts captain, not a surprise, and Christopher Helgerud refereeing this one from the Wankdorf Stadium. Klaus Nengen have Flo and Ro playing, but Bo is on the bench, and it looks like Toe is now in the team as well. Leonard Krasimirov, Totev in the side, so it's almost like the Sound of Music or something going on in that squad. Kicking off, and immediately they're on the attack straight away. Fortuna looking to get an early goal. It is all Fortuna on the attack. Dunwell has got that goal within the first 20 minutes. It is 1-0. When it's 2-0, Castillo gets a goal in a rare match for him. He's not played very much at all. In fact, I think he came on as a sub in the first match and has barely appeared since. 2-0's looking comfortable. Dunwell gets his second goal. Yavin hasn't even had a shot, and the attacking mids are doing all the work between them. Kenny Lunt makes it 4 before half time, and this is all over at this point already. Fortesh is going to get the 90 minutes, Andrew. He will get it, Wolfie, don't you worry. And we shall see what will happen here over the substitutes. I don't believe there'll need to be any at this point at all. I think it's a case of keeping that team on the pitch wherever possible until 60 minutes. And yeah, it will be. I don't think there's any injuries to worry about. It's been a superb first half performance.
Yes, I mean, Dunmar is tremendous in terms of how he's played as an attacking midfielder against a non-league side. It'd be nice to see him try it out in the league. And yeah, I agree. I think it would be good. Let's just check how the goals were scored. We've got Kenny Lunt playing in Dunwell, so Lunt's got the assist for the opening goal. Dunwell has scored, but it looked like a decent team move yet. Boele and Lunt playing some passes around to each other, a couple of passes between the two of them. And then Dunwell to Yavin, Yavin to Castillo, and Castillo has smashed out into the three forwards, all working well together. Then for the other goals, we've got Lunt to Dunwell, so Kenny Lunt involved yet again, and then Lunt with a free kick, and I'm pretty sure that's his second free kick this season he scored. A 9 at half time from Lunt, a 9 at half time from Yavin, despite only having one shot. No shots at all. And Dunwell with a 9, and Rabasandratana with a 9. They're going to be absolutely delighted with that. And 9 passes for those players. And we shall go on with the second half to the 60-minute time. Yes, it'd be nice to see if anything can come out of the rest of this game. Will it be a big cup win, or will we at least get the excitement of Robert Prutz playing at 43 years old for a full match? I don't know. It's an interesting one. There's a free kick here of Sandritana. No, nothing comes of that one. And Prince has played in done well. Prince, Yaron, it's a tackle, it's a free kick and Lunt to shoot. It's gone in! It's an own goal. So Kenny Lunt with another free kick, and this time it's deflected in. That's a superb game for Kenny Lunt. Let's see if any substitutes just manage injuries. If any of the front three haven't scored, they're on 7-0, but it's not going to happen, is it? At this point, just to see if any rests are needed for anyone. Robert Pretz at 80%. Is he injured? Or is he just going to be allowed to play? They're 5-0 up. Do they need to make changes? Vance Warner, it'd be good to see him appear at some point during this game. Is there a reason why he would need to come on though? No, I don't think there's any reason why any of the substitutes need to be used when the team are playing like they are. So let's just get on with it. 5-0. We've got a 5-0. I mean, nothing happened. Nothing happened in the rest of that game at all. Kenny Lunt, man of the match. Really, really solid performance. And the entire team can be happy with that. Pritz at 68%. Dieter Reitz, a very old man, at 78%. And he's done the side run for the game. So something different for him. Pritz at 43. He's done a decent job. He's got 3 assists in the cup. And none in that round though there. 7 shots, 6 on target. An own goal scored, and the own goal, it's a Kenny Lunt free kick with a deflection. It is not that much of a thing there. 2 free kicks from Lunt, great to see for the team. Done well, jumping like mad, and he scored both of his shots. Excellent for them. Fauske Sprint versus Wolfies Wanderers. And for this match, they've only named 5 substitutes. I do believe it was a deliberate move. I think so, from looking at it. Only 5 subs named. Last match, of course, they had the 2-1 defeat to Phoenix. We are making that starting lineup change, though, which we'll see. Fortesh, at 64 years old, being given the 90 minutes in this match. He's got 1 goal already in the cup. So let's see if he can get another one. Formation change sees the wide men dropping into a more central midfield position. We have Steve Howsham playing in the middle of midfield, giving a bit of a rest to a few players today. And we've got the defensive rotation continuing, I believe, with Hierro and Lescott. I'm not entirely, they might have played last game actually, but usually you get a bit of a rotation amongst the defenders for these. And Ryan Williams getting the chance at attacking mid again. So let's get started. And will it be a sprint for them this game? Jan Harold Cleven refereeing. And Daji saying that Hulls are the best team in the league by far. Amazing team, manager and tactics. Hulls are a very, very strong side, aren't they? Trafford have some superb players in that squad as well and have been led pretty well this season. They've been a nice experimental formation, which has been changed, but it was a good formation to try out there. And speaking of Trafford, we noticed there's a Martin Landreau on the bench there for Fauske Sprint. Good, and we'll see the Wanderers with Fortesh up front. Will they score? It's a goal from Ryan Williams really early on, and this game could be a foregone conclusion pretty early on. And it's a chance here for Wanderers. Fortesh is a chance. Kivu is involved. Williams, Etherington puts one wide. And the ball into Fortesh. He scored. Kevin Hunt is coming off injured. Wolfie, if you're here, you can choose. For me, this is a Tommy Miller job. I can't really imagine what else you're going to do unless you're going to put Hierro midfield and Dean Richards in defence. And we shall see what he'll do if I don't get a shout within the next
few seconds, we will bring on Tommy Miller and just let him play that game out. Pelletsoli, yes, Daji's decided to take charge of Wanderers for this game and bring on even Pelletsoli. I think we are going to bring on Tommy Miller not for Kenny Lunt. Let's push into match. 2-0, comfortable, but Fortesh has got his goal. And he is definitely playing okay. He's on an 8. Not bad at all. And we know that Wolfie likes to kill off his players. I don't think they're going to be doing much else at this point here. Fortesh was going to come on. So we'll just get straight to the end of the game. Having a quick check on what's gone on. 9 shots, 5 on target. Dominating possession. Fortesh with the arrow all the way up front. Fortesh just to play him in midfield and to push forward. So the early goal was some great work from Williams. He just picked it up and took it forward. Pretty much unchallenged, to be honest, but great to see that he has scored a goal. Wasn't too impressed with him earlier this season, but he scored. It's a non-league side, but who cares? And Fortesh with a low drive after Simon Davies has set him up. He is absolutely buzzing. And to be honest, so am I for the 64-year-old scoring again. So here we are in the second half, and Etherington's had a chance. But at the moment, we've got a red card, and it's Hierro. Hierro has been sent off. And that makes sense now to make a Dean Richards substitute. And I think the best thing to do, if we think about what has happened this season for this side, I mean, Fortesh isn't going to come off. Simon Davies is going to come off for Richards. I know that Wolfie has at times not played a defensive midfielder. And so at that point, hit Pelletsoli the call again to get him onto that pitch. So we've got Richards into defence and no defensive midfielder again for the Wanderers. It is still comfortable. Richards has had a chance. And yeah, we should get the arrow on check to the strikers. I imagine that would be pretty good. Fortesh has hit the post. He's still going in this game. We might be on 9.5% fitness, but Williams has made it 3-0. And this is very comfortable. They'll be in the next round draw when it happens. And we can see a 3-goal victory for the Wolves. 19 shots, 10 on target, so pretty much doubling what they did in the first half. And for that third goal for Williams, the Hierro, a dangerous 2-footed tackle on a player that really was never going to test him. I think that's a silly thing to do for him. And that final goal, so Etherington has been involved again in things. Dean Richards to Etherington, who takes it forward, plays in Williams. Great goal. Williams gets a 10. Good to see for him that he is back on form. And Fortesh with his second goal of the season. Great to see that one.
Yes, I'm impressed with the performance here of Fortesh. I didn't think with what he's got, he's not a player who can do anything off the ball, but also he's not really a player who can do anything on the ball. So it's good to see that at some point he has managed to get a goal. He didn't know it was coming, and he probably tried to put it wide, but it's gone in.
Yeah, it's just wonderful. Wonderful to see. Ewan Rovers, who have been forced into a late replacement in their team because they had a player in their starting lineup who was injured. David Flitcroft is injured, so Philip Salt moves into the middle of midfield. He has earned his salt, or he's certainly worth his salt. That's what I was supposed to say now, wasn't I? Oh, God, terrible. And then onto the bench, Kim Shawstrom has filled into that role. It's good to see that Seddon and Kimmins are selected among substitutes again. I've been Jed Kimmins is looking pretty useful as a substitute at the moment. For Ewan Rovers, their last match was a big 3-0 win over the Racers. After losing David Flitcroft after about 2.5 seconds, into that game. Their opponents further, they have, we see Salthammer. He sounds good, doesn't he? Johannes Salthammer. He up against Salt. Does that mean I think he'll get some kind of punishment for some kind of foul on Salt at some point? And it's nice to see that they at the bottom of the list there is ours. So we'll get on to this one, and I think we should be seeing UN Rovers comfortably into the next round. It's a cagey start for their opponents, but they are on the attack, and they've been having chances to come forward. But Blinkhorn probably settled the game already at this point, to be honest, at 1-0. Hulse has had a chance, and we are almost at half time, and it's still 1-0, but they are still taking the chances, and they have a lead at the interval. Stats wise, well, 7 shots, 5 on target, and no real response for the opponents. 60 minutes are the substitute opportunities for UN Rovers. Into the match report for the goal, and Rimmer has played it down to Blinkhorn. So again, Rimmer is doing a good job this season, isn't he?
Yes, I am quite the fan of Rimmer. I don't know if he is up against us, whether he's come on or not, but it'll be interesting to see how he gets stuck in if he does come onto the pitch.
Critchley's looking a little bit tired, but at the moment there's no requests for any sort of managing substitutes. There's set ones that have been planned, and it is a cup game with a week before the next game. It is hardly a fiesta for Fodder at this point. We have some. It's a good vehicle for jokes here, isn't it? This chat. And for further, they are. Yes, Anders has come onto the pitch. So we'll see just what can happen there. And did Salthammer take down anyone during this game? No, he hasn't made a foul yet. So, up to 60 minutes. And Ewan will be looking to get a second goal just to kill off any threat of a comeback. It's gone in towards Hulse. He's been fouled. Blinkhorn hits the free kick. It is deflected. And we are approaching the time for substitutes. They may well need to freshen up a little bit, as Mikkelbust has had a chance for further 60 minutes. We go into the changes, and I think that looking at things here, Kimmins for Hulse. I do believe it's better to do Kimmins for Blinkhorn, but Blinkhorn is more injured. At this point, he is injured, isn't he? Groin injury, yep. And the other one was to do Laurie for O'Kane, but at this point, again, overruling it with, again, the random right click. Critchley off for Laurie, and to just let Laurie play further forward than he was going to do into the rest of the match.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing whether they can get a second goal at this point. I'm actually not sure, I think. And there we are. That's it.
Very, very quick second half. Very quick. They didn't really have much else going for them in terms of the action areas and such like. It was pretty dull. It's a dull game, and I am looking at things that are not the overall stats, are they? John O'Kane's done a decent job in defensive mid for this match. Rimmer has just won everything that came towards him, and yet he's ended up with a 7. So, to any more matches we've got left? Yes, of course we have got Atletico Almwell versus Neighbourgsund, or Newbergsund, if I'm right or wrong about that. Is this our last match for the day? It is the last match for the day. And this is the last one. Yes, you can right click on the person and get their details up. That is it. Yeah, I'll just do one for mean, Kiotis, why not? Right click on them, you get all the instructions there in one. And of course, we do not edit any of those in this league, so why not? Well, for this game, I've got Carini on the bench for the very first time this season. I mean, Rob, did you have a squad number preference for him, or was he just to be chucked in at the number? I can't quite remember what you decided to do. If you do want to give him a squad number preference, please let me know. You can see that this is a strong side going forward here. There is to be a little tactical experiment a bit later on in the game, all being well, and that has been planned in from Rob, who he just wants to try something out for the last half an hour. Ricketts and Yavin up front. Ricketts and Youngberg took a bit of criticism in the league so far for their last match performance, which we have already seen. We won't have another look into it. And great to see Chris Marsh back in the side again today. He's in his third appearance of the season, and I don't believe he has done a Cruyff turn just yet. It's up to me for the squad number. Well, of course, he's not going to be a Rui Patricio, but he is going to take the number 29 for this one. Why not? It is a big game to finish off. The biggest teams, the biggest games. Nürnbergsund with they've got the two Satras in the team, Sven Erik and Ola Petter, and they have also got a player who is the strangest fun theme park in the world here, Paul Madland. I'd love to go there. Love to go there. Lars Lafton is good. Let's have a little look at. Yes, he's scored 4 goals this season. He's probably is he better in real life? But I mean, might turn out pretty good on this. But off the ball of 2, hopefully should be able to block him out. But some good Norwegian knowledge there from our Norwegian friend. Superb. Tore Furberg, he sounds good as well. And yeah, anyway, let's get on to the last match of the day. It's immediately Freddie Ljungberg trying to make amends for his poor performance last time out. It's a penalty that's been saved by Kiotis. That could have been an absolute disaster for Absalom to be 1-0 down, but Kiotis makes amends. And then coming forward down the other end of the pitch, can they get a goal? They haven't done anything yet. Hersey has had a chance, but it's still an even game as we head in towards half time. There's the goal. Yusuf Hersey makes up for his 5 out of 10 he was on so far, and he gets his goal. That was almost a disaster. It's 2-0 Kambona with a devastating cross that came in as well from that. 2-0, almost a disastrous cross. Let's take a look at the goals before anything else, because that cross was something else. The penalty. So Olsen fouled by Hersey, and that's why Hersey was taking such criticism before. So then we look into their goals. Where are they? Late on, of course. Larsson's played it into Hersey, who's just found himself some space, and he has scored. And it's Bobby Petter with a great cross into the box for that second goal. Nürnbergsund, there are 3 shots, 3 on target so far. And for Absalom, they have had a good 8 chances. And Hersey has made up for his early start to the game with plenty. Yavin is quite the interesting player in this game. He's won as many headers as he's attempted passes. He's had as many shots as he's attempted passes. That is a horrendous record. The ball is not getting to the strikers enough, but he's made 1 pass. Yes, I think that's quite one of the strangest things I've seen. It's good to see you actually still here, Graham. I thought you disappeared. No, I'm just letting you enjoy it, really. Yes. Let's get to the 60 minutes on this part. I'm just making sure I've got Rob's subs ready for when he needs them, but obviously he is here as well to be able to do things. Yeah, you say it's up to me. fine. This can now be up to you. The chance to up to 60 minutes, and of course we go slow in the first 15 and a half. To the sub time, Yavin has been a little bit more involved, I think, at this point. He's played it into Velas, who's nearly scored. He's made 2 more passes this half already. We have got Velas to Ljungberg and almost another goal. They are much more comfortable, much more free-flowing in their attacking play in the second half. Hersey's been brought down, the flag is up, and it is a penalty. And Velas has scored. It is 3-0. Julian Velas gets his first goal for the club. Great to see him doing something there. And it is a free kick. A chance there. It's hit the wall though. And with the substitute time is here. But it isn't arriving yet. They're playing on to try and get a 4th goal before the substitutes. Ricketts has put that wide. If only he could have finished. If only indeed. We will be seeing a tactical experiment that sees Velas to be moving further back with this off the ball little tactic. Everyone seems fully fit, Rob. I mean, I'm going to see you're here. You're obviously trying to avoid using Bonk and Casano, but anyone that you want to see come on to the pitch for the last half hour? Fitness, yeah, you've just asked me about fitness, and I will show it again for you just in case I was a bit quick on it. But everyone is very, very much fit at this point. I know you're on a delay compared to me, of course, as well. Ratings wise, they were all pretty solid. 7s, 8s, and 9s all round. Bobby Petter having a good performance.
Yes, he's been playing very well this game actually. Langley for Larison is being suggested, and there we go. Yes, that's a lovely one there. And
Dachi is really trying to persuade the chance of Carini for Yavin. I'll leave it for if Rob wants a second one or no more changes. Does he want to bring on? Daji, we know that you are not just saying this. You have played strikers up front this season, so strikers up front. You play strikers up front. You play goalkeepers up front as well. In your season, we know you have done it. Marsh up front for Yavin. And would you like to keep Yavin on the pitch at centre back, or are you going to just bring on a different? So that Chris Marsh getting his chance up front, it's great to see that he's going to get that a big boo there, and Gary Neville for Yavin. Okay, I believe that would be the subs in case there was a third. I think let's get started.
I'm very interested in seeing what's going to happen with this. I think Chris Marsh might well score.
I don't, but we will see. It is very much an onwards. Will Marsh get his goal? No, he won't. Yes, we are sorted. Bobby Petter, superb performance and very, very comfortable for them in that match. Plenty of shots. Livingston just restricted to 1 shot in that second half and 65% possession. They will be happy with that. Carini to hand in a transfer request. He's missed his chance to play. It was a Velas penalty, of course, in the second half, and it is, of course, Hersey being brought down. Not much else happened in that half. Yavin made it up to 4 passes. Going to lamp the ref. And, you could send one of your players to do it, I suppose, as well. Kamuna scored, but got a 6. He only won one of his tackles and one of his headers. Lars Lafton was laughed at as he was taken off with a poor performance. We've still got 1 game left. Falaraki versus Dala, of course. One last match. And we see that Falaraki last time out had a very close match against Hulls. But for this game, They are going for as can be described, the Sheffield United tactic of overlapping centre backs, which I'm interested in seeing how this goes. So Delaney and Maicon will be heavily involved. Two players who can play wide and further forward, so definitely worth giving them a bit of a go. Owen Hargreaves and Ashley Cole will probably be slightly less involved in those positions. Saviola and Joao Paiva have been chosen up front together, and this will be interesting. And I believe that Mr. Mourinho seems to be commenting, not Tato Mourinho, but Jose Mourinho in the comments at the moment. Falaraki versus Dala. This will be great here. Any instructions about Casillas going to play up front for this one? I don't believe Champino said anything about that one, but we shall see. Falaraki versus Dala. Let's take a quick look at the Dala squad. Stig Fleming. He sounds. Oh, Champino told you, Daddy, of course. We probably won't see him unless it's going to be an absolutely massive thing here. I think that Daji has played a goalkeeper up front in the league maybe this season with Nick Matulin. Not entirely sure, but I think he might have against Flamingos. We get started and they're immediately on the attack and have scored. Saviola has got the goal. Unassisted, but there was certainly plenty going on from the Falaraki side with the block there. D'Alessandro makes it 2-0. They are dominant so far. Champino will be very, very pleased with how his team have done. And we can see that we're 20 minutes in. It's 3-0. Saviola has that third goal. They are just taking it to the opposition and giving it so plenty. Owen Hargreaves for 4-0. This is, again, this is the joint best first half performance that we've had so far today. Brilliant. Saviola with a 10, which is always, a great thing to see your players doing a good job, isn't it? And we will take a look at the match stats as I just try and check over the Falaraki substitutes as well. I'm not losing it too much in terms of things here. A quick look into this. I'm completely lost on where my substitutes are. Here we are. Good. Yes, 2 fixed substitutes. Finally, we can do that one there. Costanzo, very untested so far. Paiva not having the greatest first half. He will be coming off at 60 minutes. Injury subs only to be made if lower than 78%. So we will keep going into the second half. We'll check all the goals at the end there. Maybe more goals. It is. It's a goal for Paiva. He gets his goal early in the second half. And it's 5-0. Another team to score 5. Let's hope Saviola gets injured here. No, let's not hope Saviola gets injured. Is it Badgers versus Falaraki next game? We can see that the substitute plans are being made. Anyone less than 78? Well, 78%, below 78%. I think it does say below, and 2 subs are being planned, so I think we will leave that one there. Yet Saviola is to be coming off for Eto. Oh, I'm right clicking again, not left clicking. Saviola off for Samuel Eto, and Robbie Keane on for Joao Paiva as the 2 substitutes. And it's not below 78, so I'm not going to do it. And we'll kick off and head to the end of the match. It's 6-0, and that's a goal for Owen Hargreaves. Dominant, the most goals for a team today. It's 6-1 though. 6-1. There we go. 6-1. Man of the match for one of the opponents, surely. No, Saviola's taking it. And D'Alessandro with a 10. 14 shots, 11 on target. dominant in possession. And let's have a look at the goals. So Saviola gets onto a rebound of nothing. And then Paiva has had a chance. It's been saved in D'Alessandro's, but the rebound in. Then for the next goal, we've got Ashley Cole to Saviola, who hits it on his left. It wasn't Hargreaves with his first goal for the club at that point because he'd already scored earlier in the game. So someone else scored their first goal for the club. Saviola to Hargreaves. And then a header in from Joao Paiva after Maresca plays it in. And it was Robbie Keane scoring his first goal for the club. I should really get that right, shouldn't I? And there we go. And the consolation was a low and hard strike from Solvang. Brilliant. So the results there see that we still have got 10 sides left in the cup. We say goodbye to East Coast, to Imaginary Madrid, to the Flamingos, and to Bolton Phoenix. So we've lost two of our strongest teams, two of our league's top four sides are out at this point. But we still have plenty to see in the rest of the cup. And the schedule for the cup sees that the next round is to be played on the 3rd of July, so 4 weeks from now. During that time, if we take a look through the fixtures to come in the Premier Division, we can see that we have the 12th of June. The matches, the next round of games will be played at this weekend. We have 5th versus 2nd, Athlone versus Trafford. A real close battle there, Badgers versus Falaraki. We also have a low down relegation threatened battle of Fortuna versus the Wacky Racers, and a top of the table clash of Phoenix versus Wolves. Then we go through to the 27th of July, so it's actually the cup is in just 2 matches time in the Division 1 calendar. 2 matches time. So that'll be interesting to see. Anyway, Graham, been great to have you here today.
Yeah, well, yes, I've enjoyed it, particularly the bits where I was so excited I could barely keep my voice to a calm level.
Yes, yeah, it's typical Graham. I suppose you really do show your emotions. They really do come out on this feed.
Well, thank you. Yes.
And of course, I've been Champ Megahorse, and you see the fixtures for next time. But let's just take a look back at those results for today, and we'll see you again soon. Goodbye.